Hello everyone, this is Group B. Our group is devoted to create a budgeting mobile application. And firstly, I will introduce our interview findings and figure out what users' real problems. And then Yuma will introduce our prototypes and explain how our prototype can deal with users' problems. And finally, Joshua will take a review of our usability test and summarize our whole project. Where the money goes? That could be an insightful question for us to start our project. We have conducted an interview between the people who have used the budget planning application before. And some of them are college students, some of them just enter into the workspace for a short time. They may all meet the financial problems. And in this interview, we found that users have difficulty figuring out their daily expenses. Many of them will download this kind of application because they want to figure out where they spend the money. And secondly, users are looking for a clear data visualization to help them better know their expenses. Some of our interviewees said they enjoy checking the charts. Different kind of charts can help them better know which aspect they spend most of the money. And thirdly, users feel inconvenient to input the information line by line. As we know, in order to input a record, we need to firstly name the shopping, give a name to this shopping, and secondly, we need to categorize this shopping. And finally, we need to type in the amount, how much money we spend in this shopping to complete a record. And based on this, one of our interviewees suggest us maybe we can add a scan camera. And this camera can scan the barcode in the commodities. And just like a cashier, it can automatically input the commodity information. And what users need to do is just to write amount. That could be very convenient. And lastly, users found that it is not efficient in controlling their consumptions as imagined. Many of them will download this app is in order to save money. And they also expect this application can help them to plan their money. And however, many of the applications can't help them to solve this problem. And based on these findings, we finally have defined the three functions. The first one is the transaction. People can record their daily expenses here. And second one is status. It embedded the pie charts, line charts, and bar charts. And this can provide intuitive and clear data visualization for users. And the last one is budgets. The users can create budget plan here, and this would help them to control their consumptions. And then Yuma will introduce our prototypes detailedly.
Hi, this is Yumeng. I will continue to talk about how our prototypes solve users' problems. The first solution is the scan feature. You can take a photo of your receipt and then it will record in this budgeting application. I will use a scenario to let you know well. When you finish shopping at the grocery store, you will have a long receipt, and it is very inconvenient if you input the item one by one on your phone. If you use our applications, you just need to take out your phone and make a photo of your receipt. It will automatically record in our application. So we think that this will simplify the bookkeeping process to solve users' problem. The second problem for users is they want more useful data visualizations to help them better know their spends. So we figure out this interface to help them. First is a different type of chart and sort by different time like the week, month, or year. And also they can see the spending top 5 in different period to see what aspect they spend more. It will let user more clear about their spends. The third one is most users want to use a consumption tracking application to help them save money. So we think that a better planning expense can help users save their money. We made these features named budgets to help them more planned to spend money. They can choose a different type and time range for the budget, like the daily, the weekly, and the monthly or yearly. And also they can customize their own time range. Uh, I I will also use a scenario to help you better understand how it works. If someone wants to make a travel budget for the oncoming travel, in this situation, he or she may need to customize their own date. They can also use the categories to simplify how much each part plans to spend. After user finish create budget, they can track what they actually cost and their plan. If the cost close to the planned budget, a message will be sent as a reminder. We believe that the planned consumption can save money to a certain extent. So the last but not least, is our privacy and security issues. Because our application is about money, so these issues is that we and the user mostly care about. So in this time, we add the Face ID to the Star applications that will ensure that other people cannot see your spend information when they use your phone. And that is pretty much of my part. Next, Joshua will talk about the useful and unuseful things after the usability test, the feedback that the user gives to us.
Hi, I'm Joshua Li, and I will talk about useful part and unuseful part during the usability test. The first one is useful part. The user likes graphics most. As you said, I like the different kinds of graphics. They are very clear. Obviously, different graphics can show the type of expenses very clear. And she was glad to see the top 5 expenses here. But we also have some unuseful things. For example, the titles of icons like states and budgets do not explain their meanings. For the user we invited, English is her second language. So when we ask her to check where the money goes, she looks through all these functions and then clicks the budgets. We feel so surprised about it. During the design process, we refer to common budgeting applications and use the same titles as them, so that users who always use budgeting applications can recognize them easily. But we forgot that it might not be helpful for new users. They may be confused when meeting this title at their first time. Besides this, many unclickable items disturb the process of testing. Although we wanted to build a high-fidelity prototype, we have not done it very well. During the test, not all the items could be clicked, so the user was limited to make choices. For example, when she wanted to choose the clothes as a category, she could only see the drinks result page, since we only set drink as the choice to go through the whole process. After finishing the prototype, we have learned some lessons. First, users are more different than we think. In the beginning, we thought all the users will have the same problem about the budgeting applications. But after research, we found that users have very different opinions. For example, some people think less is better, where others prefer to add in more functions. The second, beautiful interfaces cannot represent good usability. When designing the interfaces in Adobe XD, we searched online about beautiful color palettes and some icons. We cared more about the layout of interfaces, but ignored the usability a little bit, so that the user likes graphics most, but lost in beautiful icons. Third, logic plays an important role in design. When watching the user testing the prototype, we could feel her struggled with some pages. So during the revision, we checked the logic and deleted unnecessary pages to make it simple. That's all our project. Thank you for your time.